On the morning of her wedding, Amara cried not because she was afraid, but because the man she loved was still alive somewhere in Lagos, breathing, hoping, and completely unaware that she was about to become another man's wife. Amara stared at herself in the mirror, but the woman looking back did not feel like her. Her neck was heavy with gold, her ears gold, her wrists gold. Even her headpiece sparkled like sunlight. "You look beautiful," one of the women said behind her. Amara forced a smile. Beautiful. That was what everyone kept saying. No one asked if she was happy. Outside, she could hear music already playing, people laughing, plates clattering, life moving forward without her permission. "Bride, sit well, oh," her aunt warned, adjusting her gele. "Today is your day." My day? Amara swallowed hard. If today was hers, why did it feel like she was being buried alive? Her phone lay on the table beside her. Screen dark, silent, but her heart knew. If she picked it up, if she was brave enough, there would be messages. From Tunde. There were always messages. She closed her eyes. And just like that, memories came rushing back. The first time Amara met Tunde, he was arguing with a bus conductor. "You cannot collect extra money from me," he said, holding his ground. "I know the price." The conductor hissed, "If you don't have, come down." "I will not come down." Amara had been sitting quietly, watching. She didn't know why, but she admired him instantly. Not because he was loud, but because he refused to be cheated. Later, when they both got down at the same stop, she found herself walking beside him. "You like to argue," she said. He turned, surprised, then he smiled. And that was it. That was how everything started. They began seeing each other almost every day. Sometimes they had nothing to do, nowhere to go, no money to spend, but somehow it didn't matter. They would sit under a tree sharing one bottle of Coke, laughing, talking about the future like it was already waiting for them. "I will make it," Tunde always said. "I know," Amara would reply. And she meant it. He wasn't like other boys. He had something. A fire. A dream. Music. "You will hear my song one day on the radio," he told her once. Amara smiled. "I will be the one shouting, 'That is my husband.'" Tunde laughed. "So you have already married me in your mind?" She looked away, shy. "Maybe." Those were the days when love was light, when hope was enough, when tomorrow did not feel like a threat. Reality came slowly. Then, all at once. Tunde's music was not bringing money. Studio sessions needed payment. Producers made promises they never kept. "Just be patient," they said. But patience did not pay rent. Amara began noticing things. The way her mother counted money twice before going to the market. The way her father sat quietly at night staring into nothing. One evening she overheard them arguing. "We cannot continue like this," her mother cried. "I am trying," her father replied. "Trying is not enough anymore." Amara stood outside the door, frozen. Something was wrong, something bigger than she understood. A week later, her father called her. "Sit down," he said. His voice was tired, old, not like before. "There is something you need to know." That was the moment everything began to change. "The business failed," her father said quietly. Mara blinked. "Failed?" He nodded. "There are debts." "How much?" He didn't answer immediately. That silence alone told her it was bad. "Enough," he finally said. Her mother wiped her eyes. We may lose this house. Amara's chest tightened. This house? She whispered. Her childhood. Her memories. Everything. Gone. Then came the name, Chief Okekai. A man rich enough to solve all their problems. A man powerful enough to destroy them if he wanted. And a man who had made an offer. Amara didn't understand at first, until her mother held her hand and said softly, "He wants to marry you." Silence. Heavy. Unbearable. Amara laughed nervously. That's not funny. No one laughed. Her world cracked in that moment. Amara did not remember standing up. She did not remember walking to her room. But somehow she was there. Door closed, silence. Her heart was beating so loudly it felt like it would break through her chest. He wants to marry you. Her mother's voice echoed again, over and over like a curse. No. The word came out weak, almost like a question. She shook her head slowly. No. There had to be a mistake. This was not how life worked. This was not how love ended. Not like this. A knock came at the door. Soft, careful. Amara, her mother called. Go away, Amara whispered. But the door opened anyway. Her mother stepped in, closing it gently behind her. For a moment she just stood there, looking at her daughter as if trying to find the right words. Words that did not exist. Sit down, her mother said softly. Amara laughed. A dry, broken sound. You want me to sit down and hear that again? Her mother's eyes filled with tears. We don't have a choice. There is always a choice, Amara snapped. Her voice rose, shaking. Always. Her mother moved closer. You think I don't know that, she said, her voice cracking. You think this is easy for me. Then say no, Amara shouted. Say no to him. Her mother grabbed her shoulders. Say no, and then what? Silence. Heavy. Unavoidable. Do you know how much your father owes? Her mother continued. Do you know what those people can do? Amara looked away. Because she didn't. Not fully, but she knew enough. We will lose everything, her mother said. This house, our name. Everything. Her voice dropped. And your father. She couldn't finish. Amara's chest tightened. Then let me work, she said quickly. Let me help. We will figure something out. Her mother shook her head slowly. This is bigger than what you can fix. That was the moment Amara understood. This was not a conversation. This was a decision. Already made. When? Amara asked quietly. Her mother hesitated. Soon. How soon? A few days. Amara let out a soft, broken laugh. A few days? Her whole life reduced to days. And Tunde? She asked suddenly. The name filled the room. Heavy. Real. Dangerous. Her mother's face changed. Not angry. Not surprised. Just tired. You have to forget him. Amara felt something inside her snap. I can't. You must. I love him. And love will not save us, her mother said firmly. Silence fell again, but this time it was colder. Amara stepped back slowly, as if creating distance would protect her. You are asking me to destroy myself, she whispered. Her mother's lips trembled. No, she said softly. I am asking you to save us, please. You're our last resort. Those words landed like a weight on her chest. Heavy, Unfair. Impossible. Amara turned away, because if she looked at her mother any longer, she would break. That night, Amara didn't sleep. She couldn't. Every time she closed her eyes, she saw two futures. One with Tunde, small, uncertain, full of struggle, but real. And one without him, comfortable, secure, empty. Her phone kept lighting up beside her. Again, and again, and again, Tunde calling. She stared at the screen, her chest rising and falling quickly. She wanted to answer. God, she wanted to. To hear his voice, to tell him everything. To cry, to hold on to something that still felt like hers. But she didn't. Because if she heard him, she would not be able to let go. And letting go was the only way her family would survive. The phone stopped ringing, then buzzed again. A message. Amara, what is going on? Another one. You've been quiet all day. Another. Did I do something? Her eyes filled with tears. No, she whispered to the empty room. You didn't do anything. That was the problem. He had done nothing wrong. And yet, he was the one she was about to hurt the most. Amara picked up the phone slowly, her hands shaking. She opened his message, stared at it for a long time. Then she began to type. Tunde. She stopped, deleted it, tried again. We need to talk. Deleted. Her breathing became uneven. How do you tell someone you love that you are choosing a life without them? She dropped the phone on the bed, covered her face, and cried, quietly, so no one would hear. Hours passed, or maybe minutes. She couldn't tell. At some point, her tears stopped. Not because the pain was gone, but because she was too tired to feel it. That was when she stood up, walked to the mirror, and looked at herself. Her eyes were swollen, red, broken. Do it, she whispered. Her voice sounded strange, like it didn't belong to her. Do it. She picked up her phone again. This time she didn't hesitate. She typed, Tunde, I don't think this is working anymore. Her chest tightened, but she kept going. I need to focus on my life. Please don't call me again. A tear fell onto the screen. She didn't wipe it. She pressed send. And just like that, everything ended. Or at least, that's what she told herself. Her phone began to ring immediately. Tunde calling. Amara stared at it, her heart screaming inside her chest. Pick up. Pick up. Pick up. She didn't. The phone kept ringing, then stopped, then rang again. Finally, she switched it off. Silence. But it was not peaceful. It was the kind of silence that comes after something has been destroyed. Amara sat on the floor back against the bed, empty. And for the first time in her life, she understood something clearly. Love was not always lost because it ended. Sometimes, it was lost because it was sacrificed. And that night, Amara chose everyone else over herself. At first, Tunde thought it was a joke, a bad one. One of those things Amara would later laugh about and say, You see your face, you were scared. So he called her back immediately. The call rang, and rang, and rang. No answer. He frowned. Network problem, he muttered. He tried again. Same thing. Then he checked the message again. Tunde, I don't think this is working anymore. Please don't call me again. His chest tightened. No, he said quietly. This is not Amara. He called again, this time switched off. Something inside him shifted, not fully broken yet, but cracked. The next morning he went to her house. He didn't think. He didn't plan. He just went. The sun was already hot, and sweat clung to his shirt as he stood in front of her gate. He knocked. Once. Twice. Harder. After a while, the gate opened slightly. It was Kemi. She froze when she saw him. Tunde. Relief flooded his face. Thank God, where is Amara? She's not picking my calls. Kemi didn't answer. That was when the fear began to grow. She's inside, right? He asked quickly. Call her for me. Kemi shook her head slowly. She's not around. Tunde frowned. Not around where? She travelled. Travelled? His voice rose. Without telling me. Silence. Tunde stepped closer. Kemi, what is going on? She looked away, and that was enough. You know something, he said. I don't. You know something, he snapped. His voice echoed slightly in the quiet compound. Kemi sighed. Her shoulders dropped. It's not my place, she said softly. Then whose place is it? Tunde asked, frustration building. Because she just sent me a message like I'm a stranger. Kemi hesitated. Then finally, she's getting married. The world stopped. Tunde blinked. Once, twice. What? Kemi swallowed. Her family, they have issues, big ones, debt. He shook his head slowly. No, that doesn't make sense. She didn't have a choice. No, he said again, louder this time. She always has a choice. Kemi looked at him with something close to pity. Not this time. Silence fell between them. Heavy. Unforgiving. Tunde laughed suddenly. A hollow, disbelieving sound. Married? He repeated. To who? Chifo Kakai. The name meant something. Everyone knew it. Money. Power. Influence. Everything Tunde was not. He stepped back slowly, as if the ground beneath him had shifted. She didn't even tell me, he whispered. Kemi's voice softened. She couldn't. Or she didn't want to. No, Kemi said firmly. You don't understand. I understand, he cut in sharply. His eyes were different now, harder, darker. I understand that I was not enough. That's not true. Then what is true? He demanded. Kemi had no answer. Because sometimes the truth is too painful to defend. Tunde nodded slowly, more to himself than to her. All right, he said quietly. He turned, started walking away. Kemi, he added without looking back, when is the wedding? She hesitated, then answered. Tomorrow. Tunde stopped, just for a second. Then he continued walking. But something had changed, completely. Amara had not cried again, not after that night. It was not because she was strong. It was because something inside her had shut down. People talked to her. She nodded. They laughed, she smiled, but none of it reached her. It was like watching someone else live her life. Her mother entered the room a night before the wedding, holding a box. Chief sent this, she said. Amara looked at it, didn't touch it. Open it, her mother urged gently. She didn't want to, but she did. Inside was more gold. Of course, a necklace, thicker, brighter, more expensive, more suffocating. It's beautiful, her mother said. Amara closed the box quietly. Is it? She asked. Her mother didn't respond, because now, even she could hear it, the emptiness in Amara's voice. That night, as everyone slept, Amara lay awake again, but this time, there were no tears, only one thought. Tunde knows she didn't know how, but she felt it, and somewhere in Lagos, she imagined him, angry, confused, broken, just like she was. Her chest tightened. "I'm sorry," she whispered again into the darkness. But apologies meant nothing now, because the truth was simple. She had not just broken his heart. She had done it without giving him a chance to understand. And that would hurt him more than anything else. "Time to go," someone said. Amara stood up slowly. Her legs felt strange, like they didn't belong to her. As she stepped forward, her heart began to race. Faster, louder, stronger. And suddenly that same voice returned. "Run!" She paused. Just for a moment. Everyone noticed. "Amara," her mother called softly. She turned, looked at her. Really looked. And for a brief second, she almost said it. "I can't do this." The words sat on her lips, burning, begging to be free. But then she saw it, fear in her mother's eyes. And just like that, the moment passed. Amara nodded. "I'm ready." But her heart whispered the truth. "No, you're not." The hall was full, music loud, people dressed in colours that screamed celebration. At the centre of it all was her, walking slowly, gracefully, like nothing was wrong, like her world wasn't falling apart. And somewhere far from the noise, a man was coming, not invited, not expected, but necessary, because some love stories do not end quietly. The music was loud, too loud, drums talking, laughter. It all blended into one heavy noise pressing against Amara's chest. She walked slowly, her steps measured, careful. Every eye was on her. "Bride, brides!" People smiled, clapped, celebrated. But she heard none of it clearly. Everything felt far away, like she was underwater. At the front, Chief Okekai stood waiting, dressed in white, calm, confident, certain. He smiled when he saw her. A proud smile, like a man who had already won. Amara's hands trembled slightly, but she kept walking, because stopping now would destroy everything. Then suddenly, a voice. "Amara!" Everything stopped. The music didn't, the people didn't, but she did. Slowly, she turned. And there he was, Tunde, standing at the entrance, breathing hard, eyes searching for her. The room began to shift, murmurs spreading, confusion rising. "Who is that?" someone whispered. But Amara didn't hear them. All she saw was him, the man she loved, the life she left behind, the truth she tried to bury. Tunde began to walk toward her, slow, steady, like nothing else mattered. "Amara," he said again, his voice softer now but breaking. Tears filled her eyes instantly. He stopped a few steps away. Close enough. Not close enough. "Is it true?" he asked. Silence. "Tell me it's not true," he continued. "Tell me this is not real." Her lips parted, but no words came out, because the truth was standing all around them, her clothes, the crowd, the man waiting for her at the front. Tunde shook his head slowly. "No," he whispered. He looked at her, really looked, and saw everything, the pain, the fear, the silence. "You didn't even tell me," he said. His voice cracked. You just ended it like I meant nothing. Amara's tears fell freely now. You meant everything, she whispered. Then why? He demanded. The question hit her hard. Why? Because of money? Because of fear? Because of family? Because love was not enough? My family, she started. I would have helped, Tunde cut in. How? She cried suddenly. With what? The words escaped before she could stop them. Silence fell, heavy, painful. Tunde stepped back slightly, like he had been slapped. Amara's hands covered her mouth. I didn't mean, but you did, he said quietly. And the truth of it settled between them. Because she did. That was the reality. Love had not been enough. Not against hunger, not against debt, not against survival. Tunde swallowed hard. So this is it? He asked. You will marry him? Amara looked at him, at the only person who had ever truly seen her. Her heart screamed. Say no, run, choose him. But then, she saw her mother standing in the crowd, eyes wide, filled with fear. She saw her father, head lowered, ashamed, broken. And in that moment her choice became clear again, not because she wanted it, but because she had already made it. Amara took a slow step back, then another. Away from Tunde, the movement was small, but it said everything. Tunde froze. No, he whispered. I'm sorry, Amara said. Her voice was barely audible. I'm so sorry. Tunde laughed, but it was empty. You're sorry, he repeated, and he nodded slowly. Oh, okay. He took a step back, then another, and just like that, he understood. Not everything, but enough. You chose them, he said. Amara closed her eyes. Yes. The word broke something. Completely. Tunde looked at her one last time. Not with anger, not with hate, but with something worse. Loss. Be happy, he said quietly. Then he turned and walked away. No shouting. No drama. Just silence. And somehow that hurt more. The ceremony continued. Because life does not stop for heartbreak. People adjusted quickly. Whispers faded. Music returned as if nothing had happened. Amara stood beside Chief Okakai, her body present, her soul somewhere else. Are you okay? He asked. She nodded. Because that was easier. When it was time, she said the words. I do. The crowd cheered, but inside, something ended. Not loudly, not suddenly, but quietly. Like a candle going out. That night the house was quiet. Too quiet. Amara sat on the edge of the bed, still dressed. Still wearing gold. She hadn't removed anything. She didn't have the strength. Chief Okeke had left her alone. For now. Maybe out of kindness or patience or ownership, she didn't know. Her phone lay beside her. Switched on again, no messages, nothing. Tunde had stopped calling. And somehow that hurt more than everything else, because it meant it was real. Truly over. Amara picked up the phone slowly. Opened their old messages, scroll. Laughing emojis, voice notes, plans, dreams. A life that would never happen. A tear slipped down her cheek. Then another. I chose this, she whispered. Not proudly, not strongly, just truthfully. Outside, the world continued. Cars passing, voices in the distance, life moving on. Inside, Amara sat in silence and finally understood something deeply. Love does not always fail because it is weak. Sometimes it fails because life is stronger. She lay down slowly, still in gold, still in pain, and stared at the ceiling, wide awake. Because sleep does not come easily to people who leave their hearts behind. 5 years later, Lagos had not changed. It was still loud, still restless, still unforgiving. But Amara had. "Madam, your car is ready," the driver said. Amara nodded. "Thank you." Her voice was calm now, controlled. Nothing like the girl who once sat in front of a mirror drowning in gold. She stepped outside. The sun hit her face. Warm, familiar. Her life looked perfect. A big house. Comfort. Respect. Money. Everything she was told would make her happy. And yet, every morning she woke up with the same quiet emptiness. Her marriage to Chief Okeke was peaceful, not cruel, not violent, just empty. He provided everything except love, and she gave him everything, except her heart. That part of her never returned. It happened on an ordinary day, the kind of day that doesn't warn you before it changes your life. Amara sat in the back seat, half listening as the radio played softly. Then, a voice. She froze. Her heart skipped, then raced. "No," she whispered. The driver glanced at her through the mirror. "Madam?" "Turn it up." The volume increased, and there it was. Clear, undeniable. Tunde. His voice had changed, stronger, deeper, but it was still him singing. Not just singing, of feeling. The lyrics hit her like a memory she had tried to bury. "I waited at the door where you never opened, held on to a love you could not keep. Now I sing to strangers in the daylight, but at night your name still follows me." Tears filled her eyes instantly. "He made it," she whispered. The boy who had nothing, the boy she believed in. He made it. But she wasn't there to see it. That night she couldn't sleep, so she searched. His name, his songs, his face. And there he was. Everywhere. Interviews. Performances. Crowds screaming his name. Tunde was no longer just a dreamer. He was someone. Her chest tightened. They showed a clip of an interview. "Your songs are very emotional," the interviewer said. "Are they based on real experiences?" Tunde smiled slightly. "Yes," he said. "Is there someone special behind them?" A pause. A small one. But Amara noticed. Then he said, "Some stories don't end the way you want." Her breath caught. "But they never really leave you." The interview moved on. But Amara didn't hear anything else. Because she knew. She was still there. In his music. In his pain. Just like he was still in her silence. It was at a wedding. Irony. Amara almost didn't go, but her husband insisted. "It's important," he said. So she went. Dressed beautifully, smiling politely. Playing her role. Until she saw him. Across the hall. Tunde. In real life, not a screen, not a memory. Real. Her breath stopped. He looked different. Not just successful, but healed. Or maybe just better at hiding it. As if sensing her, he turned. Their eyes met, and just like that, 5 years disappeared. No crowd. No music. No time. Just them. Again. They stood facing each other, neither moving, neither speaking. Then finally, "Hi," Tunde said. Simple, careful. Amara swallowed. Hi? Silence. So many things to say. So many questions. But only one came out. You're doing well? He nodded. Yeah. Another pause. You too, he added. She almost laughed. Because doing well was not the same as being happy, But she didn't say that. I heard your song, she said softly. Tunde looked at her dull. Really looked. Which one? She hesitated. Then, the one about waiting. Understanding flickered in his eyes. Oh! Silence again. Then he asked the question she feared. Are you happy? Her heart dropped, because she didn't know how to answer. The truth? Or the version of it people expected? She forced a small smile. I'm fine. Tunde nodded slowly. Yeah, he said. I figured. Something in his voice said, he knew. Knew that fine was not the same as happy. The music played in the background. People laughed, life continued. But around them, everything felt still. I looked for you that day, Tunde said suddenly. Amara's chest tightened. After the wedding, he continued, I stayed outside for a long time. Her eyes filled with tears. I thought, maybe you would come out. She shook her head slowly. I couldn't. I know. And somehow. That hurt more. Because he understood. Not agreed. Not accepted. But understood. Time passed. Or maybe it stood still. Neither of them could tell. Then someone called Amara's name from across the hall. Her husband, reality returned. She looked at Tunde. This time no confusion, no unfinished sentence. Just truth. I'm glad you're okay, she said. Tunde smiled slightly. I'm glad you're here. Not happy, not whole. Just here. And maybe that was enough. Or maybe it wasn't. But it was all they had left, Amara nodded. Then she turned and walked away. Not because she wanted to, but because some choices do not change with time. Some loves don't end. They simply learn how to live without being lived. If you were Amara, would you have done anything differently?